Ka halal Yahweh Bashem Yoshe Bashem Rakal Kodash Barak the Yahweh Barak the Yahweh Shalom. The Ba'an to the elders of GMS Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of the 12 tribes are scattered abroad. Greetings. We call ourselves the hopeful elect because we do not know who the elect are. Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to where? Verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Neo-Babylon Empire, by the way, in that time period, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked up, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. This is dealing with the Assyrian Empire. And Assyrian art, see right here. On screen, looks like the body of a horse, something. Head of an Assyrian, and they got wings. Go back. It's got wings too. It's dealing with the Assyrian Empire. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked up. The Babylonian Empire took over the Assyrian Empire. It was lifted up from the earth. The Babylonian Empire was lifted up from the earth. You see how exalted it was made. It made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. The Neo-Babylon Empire took over the Assyrian Empire. It was lifted up from the earth. You see that? It made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Stand upon the feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it. That's talking about Nebuchadnezzar, the time of Daniel. You know what? Nebuchadnezzar was the head of gold in the dream. And I beheld another beast, a second, like to a bear. And it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus to it, Arise, devour much flesh. I beheld another beast, like to a bear. That's the Medo-Persian Empire. And it raised up itself on one side. Now, the Medes came first for the Medo-Persian Empire, but the Persian Empire was stronger. So it raised up itself on one side. So you see that, raised up itself on one side. The Persians was more stronger, exalted than the Medes, Medo. And it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. Came from the east. Came from the east. It conquered towards the west, towards the north, towards the south. And that's three ribs, three different areas that they conquered. In the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. You know, they conquered Egypt, Libya, and Babylon. They said unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. Devour much flesh. They conquered many regions. And you know, them three ribs is the Egypt, Libya, Neo-Babylonian Empire. And that's it. All right, verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. The beast had also four heads, and dominion was given to it. Who is the leopard? Alexander the Great. Daniel 6. That's the Greek Empire. Dealing with Alexander the Great, Alexander the Macedonian, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. Now, first back in B chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. So that when Alexander when Alexander the Great was alive, when he was reigning, he didn't reign for very long. Alexander the Great is written about in the book of Maccabees. It's also mentioned in the book of Josephus. and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So, when Alexander the Great died, who ruled his empire? The Diadochi, or the Diadochi. The four wings of a fowl, that's who the Diadochi were, and the four heads. And who were those? To be more specific, those were his four generals. The Diadochi, the four wings, the four heads, the four generals who ruled Alexander the Great's empire were Antigonus, Cassander, Ptolemy, and Seleucus. You see the Maccabees. And many evils are multiplied in the earth. You know, Esau is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, so of course evils will be multiplied in the earth when they ruled. You know, Esau is the border of wickedness in the scriptures. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, hosts is going to armies, Yahweh of armies. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So Esau is the border of wickedness. He is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who rules the world now today? Think about it. Is it the Chinese? Is it the Africans? Is it the Koreans? The Japanese? Maybe it's the Brazilians. Think about it. Do the Native Americans rule the world today? Who rules the world? The so-called white man, which is the border of, they shall call them the border of wickedness. The so-called white man rules the world, who is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Because the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. And who rules the world now? The wicked rules the world now. But to be more specific, who is the wicked ruling the world? So-called white man. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of, the tabernacles of Edom, in the mountain Psalm, the 83rd chapter. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He iconoclasmed, whitewashed the face of Yahweh, the Father, Yahushua, the Son, Israelite men. He iconoclasmed the angels. Israelite men are judges. He iconoclasmed, whitewashed the face of the women and children. Women and children are not judges though, by the way. But he still iconoclasmed them, whitewashed them. If not, where and who is he? If this man ain't the devil, then who is? I define iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm.
See if I can get this. Iconoclasm. One thing here, the rejection or destruction. In this case, I'm referring to the rejection of religious images as heretical, the doctrine of iconoclasts. In this state, in this sense, I'm referring to rejection. They rejected it and whitewashed it. First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48, and laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. You saw? There is nothing new under the sun. That happened then. Esau came back. Renaissance time period. He whitewashed the images. Wow. There is nothing new under the sun. Truly. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Came back in the way it did. Renaissance art, whitewash the images. Go back before that and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images. That's lies. Lies. To whitewash the images, to paint yourself as you are. To give an example, you got some Chinese people that take the Bible and say, let's paint a picture of God and make him look Chinese. That's lies right there. All right, go back to Daniel 7:6. So yeah, history is in the scriptures. Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand. These scriptures, the prophecies, they're going to stand. All these prophecies, they're going to stand. And I will do all my pleasure. Holy Yahweh is going to do all his pleasure. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. When this happened with Daniel, Alexander the Great was not even born. So back then, this was a future prophecy. To us now in 2025, this is a past prophecy that was already taken place. Declaring the end from the beginning. You can see secular, you can see the Bible, the scriptures talk about what you would call secular history. So secular history is in the scriptures. Thus proving further the scriptures are true. So this was happened with Daniel seeing here. This happened before Alexander the Great was born. So for Daniel, this was a future prophecy.
This was a prophet, a false prophet, some 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Why did they stone him? He made a mistake, probably. To the ancient Hebrews, a prophet was not his own man, he was God's man. To the ancient Hebrews, a prophet was a man believed to have been chosen by God, whose lips articulated the words of the source and power of the entire universe, whose eyes could foresee with uncanny accuracy events that would occur in years, sometimes centuries, to come. This poor fellow didn't make it, so he was stoned, the customary punishment for false prophets in those days. As a prophet, he may have been sincere. Most of the time, he was probably quite accurate, but to the ancient Hebrews, there was no room for error. A true prophet had to be accurate all the time. The early Hebrew kings were little more than nomadic tribal chieftains living in tents. They never created great pyramids like the pharaohs, or wonders like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, or merchant fleets like the Phoenicians, or art like the ancient Greeks. No, what the Hebrews did do was to compile a collection of histories and prophecies that have influenced more people on this planet than any other book ever written. 3,000 years of history prove that the prophets of Israel spoke the truth. Not everyone wants to believe them. They cannot be ignored. Many of the apocalyptic visions revealed to the disciple John are terrible indeed. 70% of all the prophecies written in the Bible have already been fulfilled. If the visions of the disciple John are truly prophetic, the remaining events are expected to be fulfilled in our lifetime.
And that's the key, right? And that's the key, right? The remaining events are meant to happen in our lifetime.
Good teaching. I implore you to watch it. This is Eli Yawakanan. He teaches in London. A prophet is not his own man. He is God's Yahweh man. So Daniel, Prophet Daniel, was accurate. Now you might say, well, was he accurate on his own accord? Let's see. Did Daniel just happen to be accurate on his own accord? Oh wow, 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, by the but holy men of Yahweh spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. Rakak Kodash. So that's how Daniel was accurate. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. That's how the ancient prophets were accurate. And by the way, this was a dream Daniel had given to him by the Most High Yahweh. The prophet had to be right 100% of the time. This dream that Daniel had was true, and it was right. Given to him by Yahweh. And we follow Yahweh. It was accurate. Even secular history will tell you it's accurate. You even got the Diadoshai, the 4 generals. And by the way, he was talking about the ancient Hebrews didn't do certain things like the other nations. Oh, you had King Solomon. It's not part of the 7 wonders as far as I know of. Let's see. Great Wall of China, whatever this is. Why is the devil up here? Oh well. Yeah, it's not part of the 7 wonders of the world, but King Solomon. The ancient Hebrew just wasn't all in just tents for when they existed. King David, he was always in a tent somewhere. King Solomon, he was in a beat-up tent. No, they had stuff. The ancient Hebrew was in the scriptures. Solomon, he had all that gold and all that. So yeah, he also got that. Also, another point, but prophecies in the scriptures have been fulfilled. As you see in the book of Daniel. We're waiting for 3 major prophecies now. MOTB, Mark of the Beast, to go globally in force, because the MOTB is here now, but it's not in force, which would be the hour of temptation, the book of Revelation. And once that happens, then the nuclear war could come. And sometime during that, Yahweh Shai is going to appear. So if you got 100%, 3 major prophecies, check out 30%, you're left with 70%, right? You are. So I can see why he said 70% of the Bible has been fulfilled, why he might say that. There are other prophecies, but we're waiting for 3 major prophecies now. We're at the end of the end now. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's right at the door, less than 1,000 years away, way less than 1,000 years away. Remember the Lord's Prayer, Our Father, which is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Where? On earth as it is in heaven. The earth abideth forever. The whole earth will not be destroyed, Death Star style. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4. One generation passes away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The earth is going to be refreshed. You're going to have a refreshed heaven and a refreshed earth. This man has destroyed the earth. Going to get refreshed. Revelation chapter 11 verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. See, fear the name. The Father is Yahweh, the name of his Son is Yahweh Shai. What is his name? What is his Son's name? Thou canst tell. Written about in the book of Proverbs. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Esau has destroyed the earth. He's still doing it till this day. He's going to be judged for that. He's going to be punished for that. Judgments will be executed upon them for that. Written about in Psalm 149. What is his name? Yahweh. What is his son's name? Yahweh Shai. If you can tell. And if you can't tell, The prophets would have the name, the true prophets, the real prophets. The scriptures speak about, and the elect shall praise his holy name in the Apocrypha. Also, in Proverbs, it's going to talk about what's his name, what's his son's name. Above that, you're going to see the Heavenly Father boast about his power. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. No more waking up maybe at 3 a.m. to go to work, or waking up early to go to work, and so on and so forth. You say, I'm tired. I want to sleep. You look in the mirror, you see big bags underneath your eyes. Big black bags. You say, ay, 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 sick of this place. Hastening the coming of the day of the Lord. For Yahweh Shai to come back. The elect will want that to happen. We want that to happen. Elder Gabal was speaking about you praying for that day. Now, of course, certain prophecies will be fulfilled. It won't just happen. One of these days, it will be like an overnight. It will be one of these days. But MLTP has to be enforced globally. Hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord. We're hastening for that day. Pray for that day to come. Hastening the coming of the day of Yahweh. When Yahweh is going to come back, the Father is going to send back the Son. The Son is coming back in the Father's name. Pursuing to the scriptures. Hastening that day, praying for that day to come soon and quickly. And it is coming soon and quickly according to Bible prophecy. Hastening the coming of the day of the Lord is written about. Truly, boy, you'd be like, sick of this place. And before it comes, before Yahweh Shai come back, M1TV must be enforced globally. So you know that. It's not just going to go happen overnight in MLTV and enforced globally. Prophecies are going to happen in their correct order. Let the high praises of the power be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. Literally a two-edged sword. To what? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. This to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. Verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. So I was saying this verse. To execute upon them the judgment written. They're going to be punished for destroying the earth. All this pollution and all these pesticide pollution, stuff in the toothpaste, the food, metals in the food coloring, the candy, the cakes in the stores. Esau getting punished for all that he did, destroying the earth, all that. Pesticides, persistent pesticides, and the list goes on. Chemicals in the air, chemtrails, chemicals in the earth, chemicals in the air, chemicals in the ocean, the water, the plastic. It's not natural. It don't just break down. It stays there. It pollutes. He got the animals in hellish conditions. He's gonna be punished for that. Hell is a degraded or condition. And the animals, you got animals in more hell than others. And even the trees go through with this man here. Deforestation. The trees are alive too. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no foes come up against us. The trees are going to be happy in the kingdom. When Esau's laid down, there's no tree chopper is going to be coming up against him, the fellas. The trees are going to rejoice. According to scientific research, trees communicate with each other through an underground network of fungi called mycorrhizas. How do you pronounce this network? Essentially acting like a wood wide web where they share nutrients, warn each other of danger, and even support young saplings by sending them necessary resources This means they can be considered to talk to one another, although not in a human understand language. Not in a way humans understand language. That's what it's saying. However they talk to each other. My goodness. They share nutrients? Wow. Esau then said, I ain't sharing squat with you. Die. Let it die, let it die. Let you shrivel up, starve, and die. That's what Esau done told you. Warn each other of danger. Man, Esau said there's danger towards the north. Go south. When truly, there's danger in the south. He just told you to walk into the danger. He lied to you. Never trust thy enemy, for as iron rusteth, so doth his wickedness. Iron truly does rust. He shall be as a looking glass wiped away, and you shall see that altogether his rust, his wickedness is not altogether wiped away. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, yea, but war was in his heart. His words were salted in oil, yet were they drawn swords. And even support young saplings by sending them necessary resources. Part of the curse is neither show favor to the young. My goodness, Esau will take somebody's child and do away with him. In meaning to kill them. Send them back to the spirit world. By way of they die. Deuteronomy 28 verse 50, a nation of three continents. Esau applies to this right here. Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Psalm chapter 55 verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, in his mind. Go to the Hebrew there for heart, blue the Bible, it's going to lead you back to mind. His words were salted in oil, yet were they drawn swords. Sirach chapter 12 verse 10, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. For as iron rusteth, does iron rust? Think about it. It does. It does. It truly does. Iron will rust and rust. It'll rust till it falls to pieces, won't it? It surely will. So is his wickedness. This man, let's just say somebody says he's a changed man. He turned over a new leaf. What Yahweh has crooked cannot be made straight. What Yahweh B'Shem Shai has made crooked cannot be made straight, as the scriptures speak about. Can a leopard change his spot, or an Ethiopian his skin? The scriptures speak about? No, they can't. This man don't change. Now, he may seem friendly and stuff, Right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed of him, and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away, that his wickedness hath not altogether been wiped away. So you might see the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers. They be like, they nice people. They gave me some money to go out to eat. They friendly people. Johnny, now you should know. Deep down, they devils. Not even deep down. You don't even have to go deep down to see their devils. Never trust thine enemy. You see a Rothschild, he friendly. He gave me some money. He gave me $500. He said, go buy something nice for my wife. Let's say if he did that. This man's a devil. Don't trust him. If they would even give you that much money. If they would give you anything. If. Probably wouldn't. I don't think they would. And on top of that, that's if you see them. But you must know, he's not just doing that out of the kindness of his heart. There is something more to giving you that little bit of money. This man's a devil. Alright, back to Daniel. Daniel 6. No, 7. Alright. Leopard, Greek Empire, Alexander the Great, the Macedonian. During the Greek Empire, there was Hellenistic. The Israelites got Hellenized with the Greek Empire. I'm typing Hellenization. Hellenization is the process of adopting Greek culture, language, religion, and identity. The Israelites got Hellenized. Let's get the example with, see if we can get it. It said Maccabees eat the pork. Alright, I don't know where it's at, but it's written about the book of Maccabees. They wanted the man to eat pork. I believe he was an older man and well known in Israel at the time, so he was a well-respected, honored man. And the king wanted him to eat pork in front of the other Israelites to get them to become Hellenized, but the old respected man would not do it. So they was like, we'll make a deal with you. It won't be pork, but the people will think it's pork. We'll make it look like you're eating pork, but it won't be pork. And the old, well-respected man amongst Israel was like, no, I will not. And he may have got put to death for it. Let's see. Eat the pork. Oh. I can't get it so far. You got another example. The lady with the 7 sons. Oh, here it is. Barakta Yehovah Shem Yoshai. Let's get it. Eleazar, 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh, which is pig. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment. As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. And it goes on, that in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. And it goes on. Now let's see, hang babies upside down. Alright. This should be Maccabees as well. Yeah. It's locking. Alright, let's get it. The Maccabee book, either first or second, it's going to talk about, here it is. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 59. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. You go to the law, read about the law of circumcision, believe it's the 8th day. Yeah. Let's see. 8th day circumcised. It is the 8th day. It's the 8th day. Their sons to be circumcised, because you don't circumcise women. It's just the sons, the male babies. On the 8th day it is. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. The brutality of Esau, Edom, the tabernacle of Edom. During the Greek Empire, all the way up to what we got today. You got medieval torture. And medieval torture, the descriptions of it is very graphic. It can mess up a person. You go to the Native Americans, lit apart by horses. That can mess up a person too. Transatlantic slave trade, what happened there on them ships and all that, can mess up a person too. All the way till today, Jacob Trouble's going to heat up. Esau's going to do more stuff to Israelites. More horrific stuff is going to happen to the children of Israel, the men, the women, the children. He's going to have to go and pay for all this in the kingdom of heaven within 1,000 years. What kind of punishments will he begin executed upon them? For sure, I do not know. Because Esau did stuff for more than 1,000 years. But he's going to have all that he did within 1,000 years time span. So what kind of beatdown you got to get for that to happen to you? Give you an example, for lack of a better example. Let's say you got somebody that tormented somebody for 1 year straight. They tortured and tormented this man for 1 year. Now, the tormentor has to get tore up for everything he did to that man in that 1 year time span within 1 week. You be saying, you don't have enough time. You need at least 1 year to get this man. But no, it's going to happen to all of him in a 1 week period, for lack of a better example. Now you see the point where I say all that's going to happen within 1,000 year time span. How, I don't know how it's going to play out in the kingdom of heaven exactly. But the men are going to have spiritual powers, which is superpowers. And they're going to get shredded. And it could be literally shredded as well. 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 56. Be glad to be not an Edomite. And if you are an Edomite, there's nothing you can do about it. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. If an Edomite commits suicide, is to no avail, he will be brought in the kingdom of heaven. He will be brought back in the kingdom of heaven. Now, if this truth resonate with you, and it truly is with you, more than likely you're not an Edomite. More than likely you're an Israelite. It doesn't matter if you look white, if you look Chinese, if you look white and speak Chinese, it doesn't matter. If this truth resonates with you, more than likely you're an Israelite. Romans 11:7. Because you have Israelites that look like the other nations across the world. Referred to as speckled blood Israelites in Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 9. Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. The elect hath obtained 100% truth. So, even if the elect look like a Chinese person and speak Chinese and eat Chinese food, and lives like a Chinese person, and then they get woken up and they get this 100% truth, and now they're changing their ways because the Chinese eat pork. So that elect member will, of course, he'll stop eating pork. And I changed his ways where he's like, I look Chinese and I speak Chinese. My mom and dad look Chinese. What if I'm not an Israelite? You will have Israelites amongst the other nations that look like the other nations. Just because your father looks Chinese don't mean he's Chinese. He could be very Israelite. Be thou a covert to them. Why did I put concert? Okay. Isaiah chapter 16 verse 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Moab is who? So-called Chinese. Let my outcast dwell with thee, Chinese, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortion is at an end, and the spoiler ceaseth. The oppressors are consumed out of the land. Covert from the face of the spoiler, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. The extortioner, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Spoiler, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, tabernacles of Edom. So you'll have Israelites that look like Chinese people but be Israelites. And so on and so forth with the rest of the nations. In India, you got people called the Dalit. They're on the lower class side of the people over there. And if not all of them, they're Israelites. If not all of them. Dalit. Dalit comes from Sanskrit word Dalita, which means broken, scattered, or oppressed. In classical Sanskrit, this means divided, split, broken, scattered. We got scattered. Scriptures to prove that Israelites got scattered. Hosea 8:8. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And in Baruch. Let's go to the one, Hosea 8:8. All the curses for the Israelites was to be going to get scattered. Deuteronomy 28. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein have slacking, for in is no pleasure. We turn from our power. So vessel wherein is no pleasure. I know what that means. So yeah, but you, Esau, Edom, you're going to go through in the kingdom of heaven, along with the rest of the other nations. Why? Because he that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. That is why. So they're going to be getting taught up in the kingdom. Maccabees talks about that lady with their Maccabees 7 sons. I believe it was 7. Yeah. But the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. 2 Maccabees 7 verse 20. And why did that happen? Because the king was trying to get them to be Hellenized. The king wanted to Hellenize them. And you can read about it. Second Maccabees chapter 7 verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to take swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. And it goes on. Pans and cauldrons made hot, being heated, cut out the tongue of him that spake first, to cut the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brother and his mother looking on. The same king that did this is going to get punished for that too. Lawfully, of course. I say lawfully, meaning in the slavery times, African American Negroes in slavery, in these times within the past 500 years, you have buck breaking, which is Gaysex. That the man will not do that to Esau in the kingdom of heaven. They'll be punished other ways for it, but the man will not do that. And also, on that note, he cut the outmost parts of his body, like as thou hast done unto those brothers, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Even so shall Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Because those brethren were part of his chosen. Ouch. Now when he was thus made in all his members, he commanded him, yet being alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus. It goes on. Ooh, pull off the skin of his head with the hair. That sounds like scalping. Wilt thou eat? No. As the former did, he received the torment. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. And he put out his tongue, holding forth his hands manfully. And said courageously, These I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. We're gonna, okay. And they was like, wow. Now when this man was dead, also they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, It is good, being put to death by men, to look for hope from Yahweh, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. to look for hope from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. That is our hope. Look towards Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. After him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power, our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against God the power, that thou shalt escape unpunished. That king died. Reincarnation is biblical, so you know they would have came back. And again and again and again. 34th generation, written about Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Read that. Visiting the iniquity upon the fathers, upon the sons, and upon the sons' sons, unto the third and to the fourth generation. You come back 3 or 4 generations. After you die, of course. To prove it further, reincarnation is biblical. Yahushua spoke about whom the men said that I, the Son of Man, am. One of the listed dead prophet. Why the listed dead prophet? Because they knew Jeremiah would have to come back with the reincarnation. Scriptures speak about there is no remembrance of former things in the Apocrypha, so there is no remembrance of former lives. But somewhere this king came back. And one of these days, you're going to be in the kingdom of heaven. And he's not going to go unpunished. Alright, on that note, Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Rakal Kudash, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai, Shalom, Double Oz, the Els GMS, Great Muslim, Shalom. Shalom to the elect of the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. Greetings, Yahweh Bashim Yoshai will. This lesson was edifying to the flock. It's green patches, 100% truth is green patches. In Psalm 23rd chapter, edifying to the flock. The flock is the elect, the flock of Yahweh Shai, the sheep of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai having a point. Third time that he had showed himself to his disciples after that he died. He spoke about Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Feed my lambs. Again, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Feed my sheep. Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Feed my sheep. If you truly love Yahweh Shai, you're going to feed his sheep. But don't forget about fear. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. The knowledge of the holy is understanding. So fear Yahweh Bashim Shai. Fear the Father Yahweh, his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, written about New Testament. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom pertaining of his love, written about the Apocrypha. So, the first step to be accepted of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, you want to be accepted of the Father and Son, you have to fear them first. Otherwise, you won't be accepted of them, and you will not be saved. So Yahweh Bashim Yoshai wants you to fear him first. The Son wants you to fear him first, before you love him. Noah moved with fear. Elder Yawakanai, he made a statement about, I'm out here firstly because he fears Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. That's why he's out there. I may have butchered his statement, but that's the point. That's why he's out there. He fears Yahweh and Son Yahweh Shai. He fears Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. He already made a statement about that. That's why he's out there on the highways and hedges. That's the first and most reason why he's out there. Because he fears Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. Don't forget, Noah moved with fear. So, Yahushua also spoke about, if you love me, you keep my commandments. Part of the commandments was to feed the flock, the elect. But don't forget about the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. Heavenly Father is known as the King of Terrors. Yahushua spoke about, I and my Father are one, not one in the same entity, but on one accord. Yahushua spoke about, my Father is greater than I, so they're not the same entity, but they are on one accord. So the Father, Yahweh, is terrifying. Yahweh Shai is also terrifying too. We have to fear Yahweh. We have to fear the Son, Yahweh Shai, as we fear Yahweh. We should worship the Son as we worship the Father. Read John chapter 5, verse 22 and 23 for that. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father which hath sent him. The word therefore honor in the Greek is temao, which means to have in honor, regard with great respect, revere, venerate. Venerate means what? Regard with great respect, revere. So worship the Son, fear the Son as you do the Father. In John chapter 5, 22 and 23 is red letter words of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.